Hey guys, and welcome back. We're here to do a top 10 Q&A game edition with DRAM of the Game Slayers here in the Slayer layer. The first question that we're going to ask is, what was your best memory of a video game growing up? Thank you, and I'm looking forward to going through these questions with you. Probably my very best, fondest memory of video gaming would come from let's see, when we got our first Nintendo Entertainment System. Unpackaging Mario and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! Both of those were really great games. I really enjoyed them and had a ball with those, and I to this day still love Mario just about more than any game. On to question number 2. Which system did you like best? As far as the first system that I played, it would go back to ColecoVision. Whoa, I thought you said it was Nintendo. No, the Nintendo was just one of my favorite systems. The actual first system I ever played was the ColecoVision, and it had some surprisingly good games on there. Smurfs was one of the ones I remember playing on Coleco, and Mousetrap. I remember watching my mom and dad playing Mousetrap a lot. They loved that game. But Coleco was actually the first system that I played. On to question 4. What was the longest session you had playing a game, and what game was it? Lord, the longest session I've ever played, it had to be when me and Alex were playing. We stayed up at least 19 hours straight playing Phantasy Star. He got the game and brought it over, and we locked ourselves in the bedroom, and we played that game continuously for at least 19 hours. That was a great game, one of the best role-playing games I have ever played, and that is one of my fondest memories too. Is me and him, like I said, we just locked ourselves in the bedroom and we played that game non-stop, and it still had hours to go before we beat it, the way a game should be, not like these games today you play 5 hours and you beat it. Phantasy Star took forever. Have you ever raged out at a video game? Have I ever raged at a game? Have I ever not raged at a game? I have thrown my fair share of controllers. There's been plenty of times growing up my mother would holler at me, "Quit throwing your controllers, I'm not buying you a new one." But there's been a lot of times I would get mad at the game, toss it, but luckily I never actually broke any of my stuff doing it. Never got to the point where I had to have new systems because of it. Never got to the point where my controllers were not working because of it. If you could, what kind of game would you make? Alright, this is a question that I've contemplated a lot. I've actually for years had this drawn out in my mind. If I could make any video game, what would it be? I would make a fighting style game with the engine and the actions of like a Mortal Kombat type game. But I would take all the horror characters. I would take like Freddy Krueger versus Jason in the Boiler Room. Or take like the Leprechaun versus Chucky in the Toy Room. Something like that, and have each character have their own background that interact with you. Like Chucky could pick up a ball or something and throw it and hit you, or a bowling pin and hit you. Freddy Krueger could slice off the valves of a hot steam and make it come out and burn you. But they would all have their individual like fatalities, like Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. I mean, it would just be like a Mortal Kombat, but it's something I've talked about and would love to have seen made. So you like horror games then? No, I love horror games. I just in fact finished Until Dawn on PlayStation 4. It was a great game. That was one of the very first games that has ever made me jump or startled me from stuff jumping out. But as far as horror games, I love horror games like I love my horror movies. And I can't wait for the new Final. I got Final Fantasy on my mind. Can't wait till the new Friday the 13th comes out to try it. What would be your best gaming story? Yeah, my fondest memory would have to be growing up. Alex and myself again would get up on Saturday mornings. I'd spend the weekend with them. We'd walk up to the 7-Eleven to play Mario, Spy Hunter, games like that. Or as we got older and he moved, we would spend the night and we would go up to Shannon Mall and we would go eat. Like I think one of our favorite places was Kebabs, and then we would go into Tilt, I think that was the name of it, the arcade and just spend the day there at the arcade. We used to have a ball doing that, or we'd ride our bicycles up to the video store and rent a game or something like that. But we had a ball doing that. That was one of my fondest memories. What would you say is your best driving game and why? My best driving game, that would have to be PlayStation 2's Need for Speed Underground. That game was, one of the best ones by far. The customizations you could do to the engines, the decals to the vinyls that you could do to the cars, the paint jobs, the rims, everything. The game was awesome. As far as handling, it was a good game. The cars handled great, and it was a great storyline. It was a great game. I enjoyed it a lot. If I had to pick another one to go along with that, it would be Midnight Club. There's just something about being able to customize your own cars, do what you want to them, make them unique, and it was fun. Name the systems that you had growing up through life. Name as many video game systems that I have had. Alright, this is going to be fun. Let's try to do this in order. 1. ColecoVision. Great game. That evolved into the Atari 2600. Had hundreds of games for that thing. We would go and pick them up. From the Atari 2600 become the Atari 5200. Another OK system. Rolling on from the Atari 5200, we rolled into the Nintendo Entertainment System. That game broke ground and just records. That brought arcading back into your homes. From the Nintendo, it went on to the Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo went on to Sega Genesis. Sega Genesis, I went on to the Sega 32X. Sega 32X, I rolled on to Sega CD. Alright, from there I went into the N64. From the N64, I believe, which one was it? Saturn or Dreamcast. Either way, I had both of them. I had Saturn, I had the Dreamcast. Handhelds, I had Game Boys, Game Gear, which I still have my Game Gear. There was the TurboGrafx-16, one of my favorite systems of all time. Very underrated system. Awesome system. Loved the concept of what their games were. It was on a little thing like a credit card. Great. Those games were tough as nails. Great systems. Then we had PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. I've had PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. I have had Xbox, Xbox 360, Virtual Boy. Let's see, what else was it? What am I missing? 360, Game Gear, TurboGrafx, Sega CD, Jaguar, 3DO. You name it. I think is that it? I can't. So many of them I can't remember. But I have owned just about every system that has ever been made except for the Xbox One. And I may be partial, but I doubt I'll ever own an Xbox One. I love my PlayStation, and that is where I will sit. Oh, I also had a Wii, and I'm still planning on getting a Wii U when the time's right and the money's right on it. But there's hardly, and I even had a Tandy computer. But there's not a system hardly that I have not had. I am a huge video gamer and love my games. If you could do a video with one gamer, who would it be and why? If I could do a video with one gamer, who would it be? That would have to be H2O Delirious. Delirious is one of the most comical and one of my favorite people on YouTube to watch. He really gets into the games to a point where, you believe he's actually in the game. Not just the character he's playing, but you believe he's in the game. He's always laughing, makes it fun to listen to. Great gamer, great personality. Check him out, guys. I will put his link below at H2O Delirious. Awesome guy. Well, D-Ram, thank you again for answering the top 10 Q&As on your top 10 gaming. And we always hope that you have a great weekend. Would you like to leave anything for your fans and for the viewers? Thank you guys for having me here. Appreciate it. Wonderful Slayer layer. And remember, guys, always like, subscribe, comment, bring your friends. Remember, 100 subscribers and we'll be doing a free giveaway. So thank you guys and have a great week, and I hope you enjoyed your weekend.